go. All right, Google Forms. Has everybody worked with Google Forms? I just want to very quickly touch on this. And if anybody has all of you under your Google Drive, under your waffle, you're going to have Google Forms as a choice. If you go to Google Drive, you can get to it. And all you have to do is go to New, as soon as it opens up. New, and Forms are usually under More. Google Form. And a Google Form is a survey, a test, a quiz, anything that you want to make to gather data. These are wonderful and they're very easy to use. You title your form. You add a question, which they've already got one started for me. You tell it what kind of answer it can be, multiple choice, or drop down, check boxes, a paragraph, a short answer, linear scale. They've done a little bit better job for math in that regard lately. This used to be no good for math. We'll go with multiple choice. When you do that, you just start adding in options. And there I have a one-question survey. And if I want to preview that, this is what it's going to look like to everybody that I send it to. And so I could send this link to all of you, and we would have a question about, which came first. So we'll click horse and submit. And then it takes that response. And if you open your responses here, you can see that 100% of your answers have been horse. So again, a really quick and easy way to, even if you're just doing one question, you can send this out to, in elementary, you're going to have to look forward to next year because you're going to have Chromebooks in your rooms, every one of you next year. But this is a good thing to, everybody has a Chromebook sitting in front of them. Great way to get a feeling for what's going on in the room. Did they understand what's going on? You can simply ask them one question and throw this form away, or you can create more intricate forms. You can even give tests through this. And when you give tests, Aaron was going to present on this a little bit more, but you can have self-checking. You can add on an extension that allows these things to be self-checking, so you don't even have to check anything. You would put in, hey, on question 1, horse is the right answer. And so, boom, it checks it for you and gives the kids grades. And that's another extension. But forms are a wonderful thing to use. It also creates an Excel spreadsheet that has all those responses in it. And if you take a look at it, it tells you the time that was answered and the answer. And if there were more questions, they would all be listed along here in this spreadsheet. So forms are a great thing if you want to. Again, I'm not going to tell you exactly how to work a form, but if you're interested in it, and even if you want me to create one for you, I don't want to go to the trouble of doing that, but we're having an FCCLA deal, and I want the parents' input. I want to know, did they like our FCCLA banquet or did they not? I can make that for you really quickly, no problem. So let me know if you're more interested in that, and we'll go further in depth on that. But surveys or forms are a really handy little device. All right, some Chrome tips. These are things that I've said before, but just in case you missed them. You can see that I have a toolbar here with all of the icons of the places where I go on a daily basis. And each one of them is just a symbol. Now, when you add one of these, it's going to look more like this. So it's Google, and it's the G Suite status dashboard. And each one of these looked the same. When I added CNN, it said CNN, breaking news. And it filled up my whole toolbar. Well, I don't like that. So all I did was I know that little bird means Twitter. So I right-clicked on it, and I edit it. And I'm just going to delete the word Twitter. I could actually name it something else if I would like. Maybe I want to name it tweet, but I don't. I'm going to get rid of that. I know the bird means Twitter, so I click save, and then that Twitter goes away and it gives me more room on my toolbar, so I can add more icons. So if you're running out of room up there, just shorten some of those names and you'll be able to get more icons across your desktop. All right, next. Zoom. If you can't see something on a screen, it's too little. We're all getting a little older and it's a little bit harder to see. Built into both Chrome and Firefox, you can click on Settings, Zoom. It's right in the middle on both of them. And you can zoom in so you can see something a little bit bigger. To get right back to that, you just hit this. It'll take, oh, no, that was magnify. Sorry. No, I probably can't get out of it. I did. Oh, you got to be messing with me. There you go. Exit full screen. To get back out of it, I think you just hit this. Oh, guess I have to go back down. Firefox has a button that goes back to 0 or 100%. All right, so anyway, that's Zoom. If you need to show something bigger, this is good for you guys that have Promethean boards and something's not showing up big enough for your kids. You can zoom in on it with that, and it looks bigger to them. All right. Right-click on a tab. If I have a tab here, I can right-click on that tab, and on a Chromebook, that means an Alt-click. If you press down Alt and click on a Chromebook, that's the same as a right-click on a PC. So if you Alt-click on a tab, there's a lot of things you can do. The one thing that I really like is duplicate. Many times I'll do a search, and I'll find the answers that I want, but then I want to search a little bit more in another tab. But I want to close this one. I don't want to go out. I don't want to lose what I've already found, but I want to search a little bit further. And duplicate does that for you. It'll open up the same tab. You'll have two of them then, so you can leave the one the way you had it and then go on and search another one. Another thing you can do is mute the tab. So if you have CNN going on one and it has all those annoying pop-ups that start playing and you have to listen to them, you can just simply mute the tab rather than muting your whole computer. You can go on and do other things. Jen?
Another way to right-click if you don't have a right-click is a two-finger single tap, which is a two-finger tap or two-finger click. That'll also right-click. I'm the one who first. Where's the same on the two-finger tap versus PCs?
Okay, Google Classroom. How many people in here use Google Classroom? Very good, a lot of us. Google Classroom is a really handy tool for, basically, it is part of your Google Suite. So all you have to do is add it as Google Classroom, and it will add it to your Google Suite. But the people in this room will enter that, and you'll become a teacher. You'll say, I'm going to sign in as a teacher. All of your kids will sign in as students. Once that happens, which they already have this on their Chromebooks, you can create a class, which we have all kinds of different classes here that I have created. We created class of 2019 because I'm the class sponsor. So Heather and I created this, so whenever we put out announcements, we can just put it on the classroom and it goes out to all those kids. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a class. But I created all these test classes. We did it for Science Olympiad. Dave created and shared with the kids the Science Olympiad rules. Anyway, long story short, once you've created a class, it'll look like this. And all you have to do is, again, I don't do this very often, hover down in this corner and you can create an assignment, create a question for everybody in your class. You can post something, create announcements. Basically, it is an online coursework manager that you can use to manage your students. That's all I have about that. Again, I just want you to know it's there. I'm not going to show you completely how to use it, but it's